Please subscribe, like and share this content. It means a lot to us. Thank you in advance. U.C.C. Article 9. Secured Transactions. Part 4. Rights of Third Parties. Paragraph 9401. Alienability of debtors' rights. A. Other law governs alienability, exceptions. Except as otherwise provided in subsection B and sections 9406, 9407, 9408, and 9409, whether a debtor's rights and collateral may be voluntarily or involuntarily transferred is governed by law other than this article. B. Agreement does not prevent transfer. An agreement between the debtor and secured party which prohibits the transfer of the debtor's rights and collateral or makes the transfer a default does not prevent the transfer from taking effect. Paragraph 9402. Secured party not obligated on contract of debtor or in tort. The existence of a security interest, agricultural lien, or authority given to a debtor to dispose of or use collateral, without more, does not subject a secured party to liability in contract or tort for the debtor's acts or omissions. Paragraph 9403. Agreement not to assert defenses against assignee. A. Value. In this section, value has the meaning provided in section 3303A. B. Agreement not to assert claim or defense. Except as otherwise provided in this section, an agreement between an account debtor and an assigner not to assert against an assignee any claim or defense that the account debtor may have against the assigner is enforceable by an assignee that takes an assignment, 1. For value, 2. In good faith, 3. Without notice of a claim of a property or possessory right to the property assigned, and 4. Without notice of a defense or claim and recoupment of the type that may be asserted against a person entitled to enforce a negotiable instrument under section 3305A. C. When subsection B not applicable. Subsection B does not apply to defenses of a type that may be asserted against the holder in due course of a negotiable instrument under section 3305B. D. Omission of required statement in consumer transaction. In a consumer transaction, if a record evidences the account debtor's obligation, law other than this article requires that the records include a statement to the effect that the rights of an assignee are subject to claims or defenses that the account debtor could assert against the original obligee, and the record does not include such a statement. 1. The record has the same effect as if the record included such a statement, and 2. The account debtor may assert against an assignee those claims and defenses that would have been available if the record included such a statement. E. Rule for individual under other law. This section is subject to law other than this article which establishes a different rule for an account debtor who is an individual and who incurred the obligation primarily for personal, family, or household purposes. F. Other law not displaced. Except as otherwise provided in subsection D, this section does not displace law other than this article which gives effect to an agreement by an account debtor not to assert a claim or defense against an assignee. Paragraph 9404. Rights acquired by assignee. Claims and defenses against assignee. A. Assignee's rights subject to terms, claims, and defenses, exceptions. Unless an account debtor has made an enforceable agreement not to assert defenses or claims, and subject to subsections B through E, the rights of an assignee are subject to 1. All terms of the agreement between the account debtor and assigner and any defense or claim and recoupment arising from the transaction that gave rise to the contract, and 2. Any other defense or claim of the account debtor against the assigner which accrues before the account debtor receives a notification of the assignment authenticated by the assigner or the assignee. B. Account debtor's claim reduces amount owed to assignee. Subject to subsection C and except as otherwise provided in subsection D, the claim of an account debtor against an assigner may be asserted against an assignee under subsection A only to reduce the amount the account debtor owes. C. Rule for individual under other law. This section is subject to law other than this article, which establishes a different rule for an account debtor who is an individual and who incurred the obligation primarily for personal, family, or household purposes. D. Omission of required statement in consumer transaction. In a consumer transaction, if a record evidences the account debtor's obligation, law other than this article requires that the records include a statement to the effect that the account debtor's recovery against an assignee with respect to claims and defenses against the assigner may not exceed amounts paid by the account debtor under the record, and the record does not include such a statement. The extent to which a claim of an account debtor against the assigner may be asserted against an assignee is determined as if the record included such a statement. E. Inapplicability to healthcare insurance receivable. This section does not apply to an assignment of a healthcare insurance receivable. Paragraph 9405. Modification of assigned contract. A. Effect of modification on assignee. A modification of or substitution for an assigned contract is effective against an assignee if made in good faith. The assignee acquires corresponding rights under the modified or substituted contract. The assignment may provide that the modification or substitution is a breach of contract by the assigner. This subsection is subject to subsections B through D. B. Applicability of subsection A. Subsection A applies to the extent that 1. The right to payment or a part thereof under an assigned contract has not been fully earned by performance, or 2. The right to payment or a part thereof has been fully earned by performance, and the account debtor has not received notification of the assignment under Section 9406A. C. Rule for individual under other law. This section is subject to law other than this article, which establishes a different rule for an account debtor who is an individual and who incurred the obligation primarily for personal, family, or household purposes. D. Inapplicability to healthcare insurance receivable. This section does not apply to an assignment of a healthcare insurance receivable.